That we will scrap the consent agenda. And so we'll just move to approval of the November 4th, 2025 regular town council meeting minutes.
Move to approve the November 4th council meeting minutes.
Motion from Belita and a second from Alec to approve November 4th, 2025 regular town council meeting minutes. Any further discussion?
I'm sorry, that was Valita was first and who was second?
Alec.
Thank you. Bobby,
Yes.
Valita,
Yes.
Bruce,
Yes.
Roman,
Yes.
Alec,
Yes.
Steve, Mayor Kempen.
Yes. Next is letter to Tin Cup Pastry and Desserts, requesting the return of awarded winter 2024-2025 admission tax funds for failure to report. Carlos, you want to stop on this one?
Sure. We think everyone knows the situation here. We granted them funds in 2024. They have failed to report back. As part of that failure to report, they have not been responsive to any town outreach on the matter. But our attorney Nick Klein sent memo out stating, what our abilities were to ask for this money back from illegally, or how strong our abilities were, is maybe the better term. As part of other business last meeting, it was requested that we, as the town, put together a letter to at least ask for the funds back. So that's what this letter attempts to represent.
Move to approve letter to Tin Cup Pastry and Desserts requesting the return of awarded winter 2024-2025 admission tax funds for failure to report.
Second. A motion from Bruce and a second from Roman to approve the letter to Tin Cup Pastry as discussed. Any further discussion? All right, Tim.
Bruce.
Yes.
Roman,
Yes.
Alec,
Yes.
Steve,
No.
Bobby,
Yes.
Valita,
Yes.
Mayor Kempen.
Mr. Mayor, may I really interject just really quick?
Of course.
When we were at the correspondence or the public comment stage, we realized that we had the computer muted. So maybe just in case there was somebody on the computer screen, we offer up that public comment. Is that accurate?
Yes,
On the
that's
timing?
correct.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. So just a quick redirection here. Anyone online for public comment? Please make yourself known. All right. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. Next is department head reports and discussion items. We have everybody here. You want to do?
We have everyone here except finance. The entire finance department's at a conference in Loveland this week. But everyone else is here. We just try to do these in person twice a year, usually in the spring and in the fall. And tonight is that night. And yeah, we have everyone here. There's two purposes. One, just to get you familiar with our staff. Personalize it a little bit more than maybe it is on the regular, but also if there's any direct questions that you might have, them directly versus me being the conduit for that. It's always something has the potential to get lost in translation. So you can just go by the order. We have them, I think we have them in alphabetical order there. I think that's fine.
Do I have questions or comments for department head reports?
My heart just have an appreciation for how much goes into department reports. A lot going on, and the cross department collaboration on grant, that was awesome. it's such a cool section with that bridge replacement. As somebody that's used that for a really long time, it's awesome. We're very thoughtful, not just replacing it, but realigning.
Anyone else? I was just talking with some counselors ahead of time. It's amazing that we as a town have a give thanks dinner and that we have 120 people who are gonna attend. That's really,
We're predicting closer to 200.
well, I feel like.
Yeah.
But more than that.
Point being, what a wonderful town we live in.
Yeah.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
Well, it's very appropriate title for the event, given, given that
Yeah,
comment.
yeah.
Something to be thankful for.
And I just had a couple of the wayfinding stuff looks amazing. By the way, looks really good. A text messaging plan. We're gonna have a text. Staff has submitted a text messaging notification plan for review. So that's something we're gonna get in the future, or probably gonna go to you, I guess.
I'm not.
Sure.
Plan, yeah, it's a communication plan that I've created. It came up kind of this summer when Carlos and I were talking about like what constitutes a good reason for a text message and to just not be overwhelming people with the system, which we haven't been. But it made me think that it would be good to just have a communication plan for that service, you know, just in case I'm out or anything like that. So I've created system where there's a trigger. So something like this happens, this is a trigger, and this was usually where we communicate it. So
It's been great, by the way. I think I'm signed up for everything. And so it's not too much. It's not. Great. Again, I'm just kind of going through my comments here in department head reports. Again, I've said this once before, but all the accessibility stuff on the wedding garden is amazing. Great amenity. And then just a question, the trail that goes all the way down to the creek, has that always existed?
It has existed for the past 2.5, 3 years.
Really? That long?
Yeah.
I just found it the other day, so. It goes all the way down to the creek, like, yeah. Yeah, from right here, from right here, yeah. I was just wandering around and wandered onto it. So anyway, all the ramps and everything was super cool. Such a nice activity. Playground looks great.
I was excited to see the Dark Skies certification process. You know, we brought that up initially.
And to echo that, and to echo your recognition, Roman, of like the cross collaboration between departments. I'd say both like the dark sky application process and like the zero waste sustainability events was really good to see that you know that like common cause being like acted upon by multiple departments. Good job.
We're gonna get to our grievances.
And Bobby, I noticed you, Homestead's a little bit of a question mark, how it's gonna go.
Not so much a question mark on how it's gonna go, just being that it just adds time to routes. And so it's gonna take us a minute to figure out how much time that is and how much that's going to affect our day. It's tight enough in there that we need to, it's gonna be a lot better if we can get in and out of there before people start moving around to go to school or go to work. We're in there with loaders and our plow truck and people are trying to get in and out of driveways and move. It's not going to be very successful. So just kind of trying to keep that kind of stuff in mind.
And along the same lines, it seems like there's been a lot of recent communication between the town and Pitchfork about how positively that snow storage situation.
Yeah, the big one down there is over the past several years, we've been working directly with the code to try and deal with the snow down there. There's never really been an official agreement between the town and Pitchfork on how to deal with snow. So this year, we're going down the road of, this is how it's written to deal with snow. But there are avenues through license agreement that we can get somewhere. So when we get to February and the roads start getting tight and bus drivers start calling and I start worrying about being able to get a fire truck through there, there's a written license agreement that puts that together so that the town can kind of hold the parties responsible that are putting the snow that's clogging the roads. Last year, I ended up getting several calls about the buses not being able to make the bus loop. And it wasn't the town making the bus loop too narrow for the bus to get. So just trying to give a means to the end there, so that that's not happening.
In years past, a long time ago, we were permitted to throw snow onto the Lucian property, and we keep trying to open that door, every year.
As I read it, that was something that was allowed for Pitchfork to do. It wasn't something that read to me that was a town granted right,
Okay.
and so the town has not been trying to push for that.
Any updates on the tree removal schedule?
That is all happening directly through, Pitchfork Homeowners Association and Toad. Yeah. They have had meetings with me. They did have an arborist down there that was asking me questions, so. I feel like there's actually some of the work that Don was previously doing to make some of this stuff happen is. Fall, it's kind of nice that he's gone, but fall still feels like it's kind of still on. We're not starting.
Thanks, Bobby. Anyone else? Anyone else? It's snowing, huh?
Oh, so.
Marissa, I realized Lydia has left, I was looking at the weed enforcement meeting with like the Gunnison County folks. You mentioned in your report, do you have any idea what the outcome of that meeting was? Okay. Fair enough. Nate, you saw, I know you know about the bit in the paper, but it just prompted me, you've heard this from me before, but Pete Daniels is my neighbor and I just had a chance to talk with him about it. I just wanted to commend you and our police force and all the police in the North Valley with the way they work together when bad stuff happens. Thank you.
Appreciate it. I'll pass it on.
Anyone else have reports or questions for department heads? All right, thanks everybody for being here. Appreciate it.
You're free to go. Yeah, you don't have to stick around, yeah.
Unless you want to stick around and see what I do every day.
I can't believe you come to work every day and look at that list. That's a huge list. All right, on to business. Admissions tax grant guideline review and approval. Marissa.
Hello. My staff report kind of outlines a little bit what we talked about last time, and there were some clarifications, I guess, that I just wanna walk through. So we were talking about community growth and fundraising events. You'll see how that's just been slightly changed. Originally we were just discussing removing a year cap. But after I sat with it for a little bit, it made more sense to me to just actually change the verbiage for our signature events. So it includes and or, so essentially that 200 guests and or are events that have been running in Mount CV for more than 5 years and provide significant positive financial or community impact. Are there any questions or maybe you don't want to go that route or questions about that one in particular? Okay. And then just regarding the matching funds language that that verbiage has been added to some of those event categories. And the marketing categories as well. And then I wasn't here for the discussion with Heather. She was here for public comment, but I did listen to the meeting and I did listen to what she said. So, as you'll see in my report, you know, it wasn't something that we were doing to exclude the chamber by any means. When we originally had that conversation with her last year, she thought they were on track to have that different status, and it sounds like based on her at the last meeting, that's maybe not happening or it's delayed.
It's a hard thing to get.
Yeah, so, you know, I just wanted to make sure that we don't have an issue with any of the other types of designations, and so thinking about like if somebody were to come and apply and they were a 501, outside of that 3 that we have, the 2 designations, if we're okay with all of that. So that's why I listed a few examples there, just to make sure, you know, we're not opening this up to potentially organizations that we don't want to see in there. We can always make an exception for the chamber if we would like to, but just kind of wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely appreciated when Heather made the point. I think chambers, you know, doing events, especially type of chamber that we have, political like groups that are pushing particular political agendas, but also non-secular agendas. I think that I'm a little, I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so I think those are maybe if we were going to not just say blanket everything, you know, right, like real estate boards could maybe put on a good party. So maybe we don't, I don't know, but that's just something I wanted to bring up with regards to that.
Yeah, I am fine with adding the 501c6, but P4, P5, and G7, so it comes up.
Sure, that makes sense to me. Yeah.
Yeah, just real quick, in the motion, and in a couple of places, you have a 501 and a 503.
Mhm.
I think they're all 501s, are they not? Just different designations, just
No, the 503C status, I might need Jerry's, I can look it up. But no, the 503C.
Yeah, I think, I think it's all 501c. I think what's,
Oh, sorry, you're right, the 501C. Wait a second. Sorry,
yeah, I don't think there's a 503.
no,
Not,
you're right.
not that we,
That is, yes. Clerical error, sorry about that.
not that we care about it.
Yes, sorry.
I thought there was one other category we had.
We have a 501C and a 501C.
You're always gonna be a 501c and then a number after it.
I don't know why we have it that way written in the. I will need. Yes. Yeah, okay, so essentially. What I'm hearing is that we would just change that to read a 501c3 or a 501c6.
Mhm.
And am I right in thinking the chambers said they're 501c3, but really they're a 501c6, aren't they, Heather?
They're C6, but they're applying for a 501c.
Ah, I see, okay.
it's gonna be tough to get though, I think. It really is,
Uh-huh,
C3 status is difficult to achieve.
yeah.
It's true. And that's why they have the other one. So it's for, you know.
Yes.
So where we are is 501c3 and 501c6.
Yep, that's what I'm hearing, and then, you know, we also added to that rubric, I did add that community impact piece to the rubric, across the board, so it's what we discussed, just wanted to make sure you guys took a look at that and you're comfortable with, the ranking in the rubric.
Right. To approve the updated emissions tax grant guidelines as presented, with the exception of restricting nonprofits to 501c3s and 501c6s.
Do you want,
And remain in effect for at least the 2026-2027 emissions tax grant cycles. And further direct and authorize the town attorney to draft an emissions tax grant award agreement consistent with the terms of the approved tax grant. Second.
We have a motion from Roman and a second from Alec to the emissions tax grant guidelines as stated in the motion. Any further discussion?
Roman,
Yes.
Alec,
Yes.
Steve.
Yep.
Bobby,
yes.
Belita,
Yes.
Bruce,
Yep.
Mayor Kempe.
Yes. Next, approval of the Mount Crescent View parking need. Thank you, Marissa. Next, approval of Mount Crescent View parking needs assessment request for qualifications.
So the parts of this, one is a memo. To clarify the distinction, draw the line between a qualification. Their request for proposal and why the town staff feels it was appropriate to pursue a request for qualifications for this particular solicitation. And then the other part of this was the request for qualifications packet that would go out to prospective professional bidder. So glad to answer any questions.
Appreciate it.
Town not to be parking needs is request for qualification.
Second. Motion from Alec and a second from Roman to approve the Mount Crescent View parking needs assessment request for qualifications. Any further discussion?
That was Alec, and I'm sorry, who seconded that?
Me.
Roman, thank you. Bobby,
Yes.
Bruce,
Yes.
Alec,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Roman.
Yes.
Belita is absent for the vote. Mayor Kempe.
Very good.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Next is resolution 16, series 2025, a resolution of the town council of the town of Mount Crescent View, Colorado, adopting the exterior energy offset program, otherwise known as EOP. Calculator associated requirements for residential and commercial energy use mitigation for the town of Mount Crescent View, Colorado, and we have Shannon here for that. Hi, Shannon.
This is lucky number 10. I don't know, that was smiling.
No.
Can I answer any questions?
Do you like this?
I love it.
Great.
I think she's loved it.
Thank
you for hanging in there.
I will say that RG's like Breckenridge took like 2.5 years to get theirs done, so we are the worst. It's not that you, this is bad.
I think that's on our motto, isn't it?
No, I think it's a very well thought out program and product
Yeah.
at this point.
And so we had, I remember a discussion about it through the previous 9 meetings. But how many towns are doing this? It's just a handful, right?
Crested Butte, Pitkin County / Aspen.
Yeah.
Salt. Telluride, Mountain Village, Breckenridge. I think Summit County tried when they didn't actually ultimately get adopted.
Yeah.
Less than 10 probably.
Yeah, well, that was
Yeah.
6, so yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Right on.
Very progressive and exciting.
I move to approve resolution number 16, series 2025. Yeah. Hardly streets. Ouch.
I want
Further discussion?
Wait till further discussion. I honestly, if I didn't know you were super jazzed.
Are we sure about that? All right, we have a motion from Roman and an aggressive second.
I can. Hold my motion back.
Voted now, we're so proud.
All right. Any further discussion? Was not delicious.
Bobby.
Yes.
Steve, Alec,
Yes.
Valita,
Yes.
Bruce, Roman, Mayor Kempin.
Thank you all so much for how much work you put into so much thought, and I think it's really good. It's obviously the best product of all the jurisdictions, because after our meeting with Felida, they were like, "Oh, we need to go fix everybody else's calculators because you guys is now best."
Now I feel like.
Nice job, Leah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I realized this was that girl's day off or trying to work, sorry.
That's a Stephen.
Run.
All right, next is resolution 17. Pause for celebration. Next is resolution 17, series 2025, a resolution of the town council of the town of Mount Crested Butte, Colorado, establishing a policy regarding the issuance and processing of publicly submitted requests for letters of support and proclamations.
So staff has struggled with people applying for a grant and then Monday or Tuesday morning, letters of support, and then they call us and they say, "Hey, I need this letter of support and I need it today, or I need it tomorrow." We recently dealt with a proclamation where everyone was passing it, so I put it to you guys, and no one from the organization bothered to show up. I barely got any information from them, which to me, I'm like, that's not very professional. If you want a letter of support, if you want a proclamation, then you need to supply it in a timely fashion and give us the information we need to present it to you guys. I was digging around the city of Gunnison's website, which honestly is where I found this, and I thought it was amazing. So basically it sets a policy, and I will also work on people that have submitted these types of documents to us in the past couple of years. I'm going to send them a copy of this so now that they know the process moving forward as well.
Thank you for doing it.
No more last minute rushes to get it on the agenda.
Thank you.
Move to approve resolution 17, series 2025. Resolution of the town council of the town of Mount Crested Butte, Colorado, establishing a policy regarding the issuance and processing of publicly submitted requests for letters of support and proclamation.
Second.
Motion from Alec and a second from Bobby to approve resolution 17, series 2025. Any further discussion?
Belita.
Yes.
Bruce.
Yes.
Bobby.
Yes.
Alec.
Yes.
Roman.
Yes.
Steve.
Yes.
Mayor Kempin.
Yes. Next is ordinance 21, series 2025, an ordinance of the town council of the town of Mount Crested, Colorado, amending section 15-28 code of the town of Mount Crested, Colorado, concerning harassment to comply with recent Colorado court case law. Second reading. Jerry, hi Jerry.
Yep. Howdy, you all can hear me?
Yes.
That's great. Pretty simple ordinance. We're deleting like, two words out of the,
Exactly.
harass.
Big word.
Yeah, we're deleting words harass or, that's what we're deleting. It's almost impossible to see in the red line, but you see it there. And that's in response to, a Colorado Supreme Court decision saying, when you're criminalizing behavior that, quote, is intended to harass or, harassment can take so many different forms, of speech. And mostly it is First Amendment speech until it rises to a really highly dangerous level. And the Supreme Court found, at least in the case that's mentioned in Nick's memo, that that's really a restriction of speech. Honestly, the town has so many other ways to be able to cite someone who is truly harassing. It doesn't need this particular portion of the code, which really is more around speech than anything else. When you think about it, intended to harass by virtue of speech. Lots of other tools. Bad guys won't be able to slip through a harassment charge based upon this change, but it does bring the town into conformance with that Supreme Court decision. We've advised that all of the clients we represent make this change, and they are, and I recommend it.
Thanks, Jared.
Yep.
You may have questions for Jared?
John Hess says hello, Jerry. I don't know if you remember that guy.
I will say hello back to him. Thank you.
All right.
I move to approve ordinance 21, series 2025, second reading. Second. Motion for myself and a second from Alec to approve ordinance 21, series 2025, second reading. Any further discussion?
Steve,
Yes.
Bobby,
Yes.
Felita,
Yes.
Alec,
Yes.
Roman,
Yes.
Bruce,
Yes.
Mayor Kimpin.
Yes. Next is reports, discussion items, and announcements. And so first is town manager's report. Carlos.
Nothing new in the last few days, but, any questions? I'm here.
Questions for Carlos? All right. Next is clerk's report and discussion items. Tiffany.
Will everyone be here at the next meeting?
Yes.
Okay, and just a heads up, we still have an opening on the DDA. No one has submitted a letter of interest or anything. So I need you to go out and recruit someone to fill that seat. Mhm.
Okay.
You must live within the DDA, own property within the DDA, or be like a board member of a nonprofit. I've got someone that represents CVMR on there, so those types of people, a business owner or a business owner
In the DDA.
within the DDA.
All right, cool. Any questions for Tiffany? She's the report in there, by the way.
I do, in case you have any questions on it.
All right, town council reports and discussion items. Anyone?
Did you want to bring up the Mountain Express?
Sure. It was announced today that, Mountain Express received 339B grant for, its Blackstone, its, bus campus for 14.
It's amazing.
Oh, gosh.
Jeremy must be on cloud nine.
Yeah, it's super
The
cool.
big grant. Might lose my grant.
Anyone else? Real quick, since our last meeting, I've attended an RTA meeting. I think the big point at that one, and the RTA is gonna contract with Scott Truex again for another 4 years. Wonderful, because he's doing such an amazing job. And it's not sad news, because he's done such an amazing job, but it's probably his Scott's last. Scott wants to move on to a less busy life. I think it's called retirement. And, but anyway, so it's great that we have him for another 4 years, and then that'll also be a bit of work for, the RTA board to replace him when the time comes. I attended the mayors and managers at the hospital, and I'll just sum up, we're in trouble. No, it's
understatement.
yeah. No, it was just, it was a presentation about, just, the problem with healthcare in rural areas, and man, there's a lot of stuff. If you, I meant to do it, but have not, I can get the slide deck, from that presentation. I really can't sum it up for you though, that we're in trouble.
Yeah.
There's some high level takeaways of like key points.
It's really challenging for a small rural hospital to, you know, like you want to have a general surgeon, right? Like you're having an appendicitis and you're going to die. And so you need a general surgeon at a little hospital, but they're a little hospital. And so that general surgeon expects to make a certain amount of money because they have $500,000 in medical school debt. But for the GBH to bring that person here, general surgeon, they have a general surgeon, by the way. That's maybe not the best example. Some other specialty, I'll say. What's that? Cardiologist. Yeah, whatever it is, it's difficult for them then to have that person bill out enough because we're small to cover their salary that they expect to get paid. Certainly the housing problem we have is huge for the hospital, same trouble. And they're like, you imagine that person gets out of school, they have all this debt. Like coming here where houses are 3 times or 4 times what they are somewhere else is another tough sell for folks. So there's just a lot of things. Thanks. A lot of things stacked against them.
Did they talk at all about how those costs would then like trickle down to you know, users of the hospital? So maybe more than they could in a hospital that's potentially serving more people that can distribute the cost amongst, you know? Like I'm just curious because I've heard of stuff and I'm like, oh crap. Like this doesn't seem like it is apples to apples with other places.
I think for some things that's true, and I'll just speak from my own experience. Like getting an MRI, this is a while back now, but I think it's illustrative of what you're talking about. It was, and again, I don't remember the exact numbers, but I'll say it was $1,500 in Gunnison. That same one by driving to Denver was like $350. I think I had to get it at midnight or something. No, for real. Like, because they run those 24 hours a day. I go through this weird back entrance. No, but you know, that's part of it too.
Which is, I mean, you know, it also, if that trickles down to users of the hospital, then all right, then we know we won't go. Like, I mean, that'll just keep people from going to the hospital as much if they know that the cost we're gonna incur if we have to is just gonna be higher than.
No, that was discussed too. You know, like quick sidetrack in search and rescue, you always talk about like, we want you to call early. So people that would wait till it was way late, that rescue got bigger and more expensive and more complicated than it would have been if they just called right away. And so I think the analogy is with healthcare and with people being underinsured, they tend to wait on stuff that only gets harder to treat and more expensive as time goes on. It's the age-old thing, you know, ounce of prevention is worth, well, whatever that one is. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of kilogram of lead. All right, anybody else have reports or discussion items or anything they want to talk about before we wrap it up?
I was gonna add that Gabi is gonna be on Mountain Express and RTA.
Oh, cool.
So that's who's filling in his position.
The RTA website, still assessing, not
Behind that, I was the one that got stuck wondering where in the heck. No, I just CC'd you. And are you on RTA? You're on it. I CC'd the two that were on the
Tina was
RTA.
on there, Tiffany was on the other end of that.
I'm sitting there at the bus stop at Mountain Square wondering where the heck the RTA is. There's signs for Mountain Express.
Yeah.
And then finally Mountain Express shows up, which is past when RTA was supposed to show up. And I get on the Mountain, I was like, what's up with the RTA? That driver took the initiative to call the RTA to find out what was going on so he could tell his passengers. There was no communication. Well, they use their app, and I'm sorry, guys, but their app stinks.
It's the worst thing.
Then that's being talked about right now.
Yeah, the app really stinks, but there was no other communication on their website. I don't take the bus regularly, so I'm always anal about checking the schedule. Nothing on the website, nothing on social media.
Yeah.
That they weren't coming up here, so it took me like an hour and a half to get home instead of an hour.
Did they still do a 1.3 mile circulator throughout Gunnison?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, actually, her friend.
If you're so inclined, you might send Scott an email about that. I think that's something you'd like to know.
You know, Tiffany did this, we don't do it.
I'll check the view, time to update it. Actually, I'll make a note to email Leah.
Shannon just sent me a text. This was in my manager's report. The ribbon cutting for the solar array is tomorrow. Solar array. I think Shannon and I are planning on going, and if anybody wants to carpool down, let us know. Maybe let Shannon.
What time is it again?
It's midday, yeah.
I'd have to.
Here, I could tell you, because
Y'all try to join.
I have noticed it, so you can all go if you want.
Anybody else want a carpool?
Yeah.
Okay, Alex said, yeah.
It's at 1 o'clock.
If it's not before, you just let Shannon know tomorrow morning. Cool. That's all I have.
All those in favor?
I,
Great. Thanks, everybody. Have a great holiday.
great.
Right, Thanksgiving is.
Yeah.
Steve, is that